Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Birmingham Seaholm High School. I'm Brad Fetters, joined once again by Nick Buckler for BACB Sports, our crosstown rivalry game between the Groves Falcons and the Seaholm Maples. Nick, let's get the folks ready for tonight's game. We started our coverage tonight with the Seaholm Maples. They come in with a 11-6 record, winners 59-46 the last time these two teams hooked up.
Yeah, and really since that game, they've been playing pretty well. They've caught their stride. They're playing a good brand of basketball, really kind of through the course of this whole season, and they're really led by their junior star, Addie Flynn.
Yeah, Addie Flynn contributed 16 points in the first go-around between these two teams, and she can fill it up from distance, but she also has a little bit of a post presence as well. Just really a complete basketball player for head coach Chris Manchester.
Yeah, she could really use her size down low, but also, like you mentioned, fills it up from deep. What did she have, 5 3-balls the last time these two schools hooked up, which that's pretty impressive in itself.
So Seaholm 11-6. They've won 3 of their last 4 contests, including their most recent game against North Farmington. One of their captains, Clara Guffey, is now alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
All right, thanks, guys. We're here with Clara Guffey now, captain of the Seaholm Maples basketball team. Clara, we have so much to talk about. First of all, let's touch on Caitlin Clark. You do know who she is. That's good. We had a little bit that how well-known she is, but obviously you just broke the record. What kind of inspiration can you draw from a player like that at the next level?
I mean, especially as a female athlete, I definitely take inspiration from her and her success breaking the scoring record. She's also, as well as scoring, she is definitely a team player, and I aspire to be that. I think assists are definitely more fulfilling than points, personally.
Oh, good answer. All right, she's a team player. Now let's talk about your team. We saw you a couple weeks ago. You beat Groves. What can you take from a game having seen a team for the second time?
I mean, I think it's harder to beat a team twice for sure. We just have to make sure we're not too cocky going into it, because we still have to play our best. We still have to go hard, especially defense-wise. We definitely take pride on our defense, and I hope that shows in this game.
All right, well, we'll find out soon. We'll wrap it up, let you get some warm-up time in, and we'll be right back with our Groves captain.
All right, thank you so much, Andy. As for the road team, the Groves Falcons tonight, 5-11 record, 1-5 in league play. It's been a little bit of a struggle as of late.
Yeah, it really was. And the last time these two schools got together, they were just kind of hanging around, but just couldn't really put it all together and mount the comeback. But they hung around, they're pesky, and the reason for that was their freshman point guard coming in off the bench, Harlan Simpson. She's real impressive.
19 points for the freshman the first go-around, runs the point, gets up and down the floor, transition buckets. Right there is case in point. She gets it done offensively, only a freshman, so room to grow, but she's going to sort of have to be the catalyst tonight if the Falcons want to pull the upset.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she's in the starting lineup. She came off the bench as like the 6th girl off the bench the last time these two schools got together, but she was so exciting to watch, and some really silky mitts, you would say, some sick handles, and she's just a real complete player.
Falcons coming off a 61-55 win over Bloomfield Hills in their last ball game. Prior to that, had lost 5 games in a row. As I mentioned, they are looking to play the role of the spoiler here tonight. So, our Andy Aubrey is now alongside one of their captains, number 5, senior Cameron Little.
All right, guys, now we are here with one of the Groves captains, Cameron Little. And Cameron, I asked Clara over on the Seaholm side about Caitlin Clark and her tremendous accomplishment. What does watching her break that record do for you as a ball player?
For me, I love watching her because she plays with so much confidence, and it kind of inspires me. Like, I might make mistakes, I might not make all my shots, but she continues to work hard, she continues to shoot, and I kind of love that about her, and that she's a selfless player. And I think that that's very important to being the captain and on the team. Yeah, so that's what I really look up to her for.
It is amazing that she does pass the ball. I mean, with all those scoring, it's still, she includes everybody, so that's a beautiful thing. All right, let's talk about this game tonight. You've seen Seaholm already, and they beat you, but what can you learn seeing a team already and playing them for the second time?
Especially after the loss, we kind of learned that we can't take everything for granted, because last year we played a really good game against them, so we were kind of going into it thinking we had this game, everything. But we definitely learned after the loss that we can't take anything for granted, and we have to work twice as hard, because we definitely just didn't play to our fullest because we were so used to, the previous records and everything. So we're definitely learning that we need to work hard. We can't take anything for granted, like I said, and we need to be a team. Yep.
All right, well, you're in their building tonight, so they're going to have their crowd behind them, but we look for a great game because it's always a tremendous rivalry and you two teams hook up. So we're going to wrap it up from down here. Thank you for your time, and we'll send it back. Actually, we're going to start this game, so come right back because we got the opening tip-off coming right away.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back inside Seaholm High School. Let's meet tonight's starters. First for the Groves Falcons, number 2, J.C. Roy. Number 5, Cameron Little. Number 13, Talise Alexander. Number 20, Sarah Racco. And 32, Nevaeh Cochran McKay. As for the Seaholm Maples, the 5 on the floor to start will be Mary Gumbus, Emma Weber, 21, Taylor Hartwig, 22, Captain Clara Guppy, and number 24, Addie Flynn. Cochran McKay in the circle to tap things up for the Falcons in their road greens. Maples clad in their home whites with maroon numbers, and Maples across the chest. Big block shot by Talise Alexander to start things off.
That was quite an exciting intro there as they
Bring in a little
show.
Hollywood and Las Vegas to Birmingham, Michigan here.
It was NBA-esque, to say the least.
Right?
thought I was at the United Center.
That's
they had
right.
the 90s Bulls intro music.
Falcons need to break this full court pressure.
Early
Now
foul.
we get a foul in the backcourt.
Maple foul on 21, Taylor Hartwig, her
Foul
first
to
team
go
first.
against Taylor Hartwig, her first, team first.
Yeah, backcourt fouls are never a good thing, especially in the first 30 seconds of the game.
Racco goes over to J.C. Roy, looks to turn the corner, now dribble drive, handoff to Cameron Little. Retreating back towards the midcourt stripe. 3-out look now for the Falcons. Skip pass. Cameron Little drives inside, swatted out of bounds.
Falcon basketball.
Well, if you guys remember correctly from the first game, that it was tough sailing down low. A lot of block shots and very few open looks once you got into the paint and lower.
Hook shot for Cochran McKay falls short.
Yeah, that one might have gotten tipped as well down there. We'll see if the Maples set up the offense for the first time, as their first possession was fast break off the opening tip.
Gumbus goes back to Clara Guffey in between the rings. Goes over to the near side, Taylor Hartwig. Back to Guffey. Quick snap pass over to Emma Weber. Weber begins her drive, scoops up a shot, uses the high glass, refuses to fall. Weber gets her own rebound, tracks it down. Guffey along the perimeter. Guffey hands off to Weber. Weber splits a couple defenders, and one, count it, and the foul. First bucket of the ball game belongs to the Maples, Emma Weber.
Groves foul on 32, Nevaeh
She had
Cochran McKay,
determination in her eyes
the
there.
team's
She went up
first.
with the left hand. So we'll see it again here as she heads to the stripe.
Uses that offhand. Nevaeh Cochran McKay picks up the foul. And Weber able to finish the old-fashioned three-point play. Emma, the junior, had 12 points in the first contest between these two schools.
This full court press is effective thus far as it forces an errant pass and a turnover.
Out of bounds,
Looks
it belongs to the
like Seaholm
Maples.
picking up where they left off in the last meeting against the Falcons.
Head coach Allison Heide not happy with the production out of that inbound play. Typically, in order to break a full court press, you focus on diagonal passing.
Travel.
And
Gumbus.
looking down the floor, there was always somebody open if you've got double teams and even triple teams on these full court presses.
Early 3-0 lead for the Maples, and That's going to be a carry. Can't pass it to yourself.
No, that's the rules too.
Yeah, it just was kind of a high dribble, lost possession. She was the first to touch, so that's going to result in another turnover.
And turnovers were definitely the Achilles heel of this Groves team in that first meeting.
Addie Flynn begins to explore.
Got to be a foul, you'd think, on Groves here.
Flynn did most of her damage from distance in the first contest between the two schools.
Groves foul number 2, J.C. Roy.
Taylor Hartwig to trigger, was trying to find Gumbus down low, tapped out of bounds by the Falcons. We'll stay with the Maples. Kind of a vocal crowd behind us. Student section really not in huge numbers tonight.
Well, they tend to be fashionably late arriving sometimes.
So look at some of the faithful in attendance tonight. Weber cut off, defers. Gumbus, 15-footers here. 5-0. I think the most impressive thing to me in that first contest was the depth of this Maple team. 8 different scorers in that ball game.
Yeah, they were just getting production from all over the place. They emptied the bench, and everyone seemed to be able to shoot the ball and play defense pretty well.
J.C. Roy with the offensive rebound now saves it momentarily. A little bit of numbers, 3-on-2. Gumbus beats everybody down the floor, can't finish at the rack. And dribbling it out of bounds, Cameron Little.
Another unforced error and a 4th turnover for Groves. And that's not too good, less than 3 minutes into this one.
When you're trying to pull an upset, you got to play nearly perfect. Addie Flynn with the aggressive drive down the baseline. An early 7-0 run to start this ball game, and now a travel on Racco.
It's the 5th turnover.
And this is almost a carbon copy of that first game. Remember the game, it was just turnover after turnover after turnover for the Falcons. And they need to just settle things down.
It's certainly more difficult to do on the road, and you just wonder if this intense environment is playing something into this started. And right on cue, Simpson's going to check into this ball game, and maybe not a moment too soon.
Yeah, the Falcons say we're going to need our catalyst out there, and all it be a freshman, the turnover.
It nearly crashes into our announcer's table.
I would have held my own there, I think.
Yeah, he's dropped.
Weber floats up a shot, harmed in the process of shooting, will go to the line to shoot 2.
Falcon foul number 32, Nevaeh Cochran-McKay. It'll be her second, the team's 3rd. Shooting 2, Emma Weber.
Get Nevaeh Cochran-McKay. It's her 2nd personal foul. First freebie rattles home. Good kind shooter's touch on these home
For the
rims.
Falcons, J.C. Roy, number 2.
It was a short rest for J.C. Roy. She's back into the ball game. Off the back heel, and it's an offensive rebound for the Maples. Second chance points. Flynn, Poise can't hit. Rolls off the front edge of the rim.
Stay with the Maples on the bounds.
Last touch by the Falcons, so it'll stay with Seaholm. 8-0 lead, 4:34 left to go in the first. A little confusion. Hartwig will trigger. Goes to Gumbus. Maples finally able to get set. Clara Guffey at the very top of the offensive set. Floats past to Addie Flynn on the near side. Back to Guffey. They ring it around the perimeter. Corner triple try, no good. They fouled Emma Weber in the process of shooting.
Groves foul at number 5, Cameron.
Not only that, but it's
It'll be her first
a
team
foul,
score.
so
Shooting 3,
it'll be
Emma
free
Weber.
throws the rest of the way here in this first quarter.
And we're not even halfway through. So it'll be a lot of shots, well, potential to be a lot of shots. This first free throw is cashed.
Weber 3 of 4 from the charity line as we get another look at that foul by Cameron Little. Really had a lane violation. J.C. Roy forgot that Weber's on the line for 3. Perfect trip to the line for Emma Weber. She's able to cash in on all 3 freebies, and Groves will have to use their first timeout of the night.
Well, this is not how things were drawn up on the Grove side. Start off 11-0, but they just got to settle themselves down, get the ball up the court. Seaholm's full court press has done the job, getting them rattled out of their game plan and committing turnover after turnover, just like they did that first game. So maybe this timeout is well placed for them, and they can calm things down and make a few baskets and get back into this one.
Yeah. You mentioned they need to calm things down. They've only taken 2 trips into the offensive side of the court, so they just need to get it over the equator, and then we'll worry about putting up shots once we get there. But it looks like Maples have called off the dogs here, at least on the full court press here, out of that timeout.
Simpson going to be running the point now. Racco gets the screen.
Another turnover.
Telegraph that pass just a bit. Addie Flynn out transition. Man, oh man, the Maples so quick. Swat out of there. Good block shot by Harlem Simpson. A couple Maples come together. Now Talisa Alexander takes a bit of a spill right at the half-court line. Claire Guffey a little slow to get up. Appears to be okay.
For the Falcons, number 10, Taryn Brown, and number 23, Rose Strada.
So now they'll allow J.C. Roy to run the point. Fires a chest pass to Brown. Brown has it now, picks up the dribble.
Travel there? Yeah.
Traveling.
There was a lot of passing on top of each other. It looked like they were doing chest passes from 6 inches away. And, well, the result is another turnover.
And the scary thing about this early 11-0 lead, Addie Flynn only has 2 of the Maple points. So once she gets going, look out. Near steal. Wow. And probably didn't even need to be saved at the half-court line as Flynn floats one up and hits.
Whoa. And one. Wow. Right on cue.
Falcon foul number 23.
You know, everything's going right.
First, the team's fifth.
You're able to save the possession and then get it into the hot hand of Addie Flynn. She's able to cash in on the bucket, but can't cash in on the free throw. 13-0, 3:13 left to go in the opening quarter of play. So glad you decided to tune us in here tonight on BACB Sports. Brad Fetters alongside Nick Buckler and Andy Aubrey. And right now, Nick, you said it, spacing right now offensively not good for the Falcons.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard my sound I made while you were saying on that pass. It was just like, oof. Another pass from less than a foot away. It's not even like a handoff as you're running by. It's like a full chest pass. And it just kind of, that was a nice little hip check there. But it's just, you got to spread out and pass the ball or spread out and shoot.
Sophie Sullivan into the game now for the Maples, her first action. Roy's shot off the very top of the backboard.
Out of bounds, it'll belong to the Maples.
Did that hit the support beam?
Yeah, it did. It went up above.
Yep.
And
The ball is allowed to touch the top of the backboard. It just can't hit any support. Cross-court pass. Sullivan fires. Flynn gets the offensive rebound. Boy, oh boy, Maples controlling the glass right now. Underhand pass. Guffey fires a laser down to Gumbus. Couldn't catch it cleanly. Gets it right back. Floats up a shot. Can't hit. Gets her own rebound. Little 12-footer's no good. Simpson out transition. Boy, oh boy, she looks so smooth with the basketball in her hand. Little crossover dribble. Sets up the offense. A little 4-out look now from the Falcons. They get the screen. Roy is looking to dump it down low into the post. Nothing available to her. Now she'll go back out with it. Talisa Alexander defers back to J.C. Roy. Simpson has the ball in her left hand now. Begins to explore. Takes a high shot to the chest. Hits the floor. Gets back up. She's a basketball player.
Number 20, Sophie Sullivan, will be her first, the team's fourth.
She's a basketball player's basketball player. She hasn't made the impact so far in this game since she's entered the game like she did previously, but Her driving the lane could be the difference because she's drawn a couple fouls that way so far.
Seaholm tried to rush a player onto the floor. Officials said no. Groves going to bring in some wholesale changes as 3 players down in front of the scorer's table. And there's the bank shot for Simpson.
Harlan Simpson.
Kind of get the sense she's just going to have to take over this game for Groves offensively.
Yeah, she's just going to have to put everything up, drive everything to the hoop, and maybe, she's going to, I was going to say run it right now, but she wisely slows it down, lets the offense join her.
Now directs traffic, fires a chest pass to J.C. Roy. Here comes the pick. Tried to roll it, tried to go over to Brown on the far side. Roy gets some separation from her defender. Simpson thought about hoisting up the 3. Instead, will bring it back out. Approaching a minute left in the first quarter. Simpson drives baseline, hammered down once again. So when the Maples fall, they certainly fall. They get their money's worth.
Yeah, they're not going to allow and ones. They're like, that shot's not going up.
4th team foul on the Maples.
Shooting 2.
Nope,
for the
check that.
Falcons,
It'll be the
number 11,
5th team
Harlan
foul.
Simpson.
Second on Sophie Sullivan, too, in about as many possessions, so she takes a seat.
So they have done away with the 1-and-1, so these will be 2 free throws coming up for Simpson. First one is pure.
Assist to number 10, Annie Kitzman.
Cameron Little.
Number 5, Cameron
Sarah
Little.
Racco.
Number 20, Sarah Racco. And number 32, Nevaeh Cocker-McKay.
Second one bounds off. Little step through, Euro step move there by Guffey.
Falcon foul number 20, Sarah Racco. It'll be her first. Shooting 2, Mary Cummins.
Gumbus first is good.
A lot of revolutions on that basketball. Watch
Yeah.
when she puts that up. It's a high arcing. Look at all the spin rate on
Got
that
that
thing.
backspin going.
Yeah.
It's just the way you're supposed to do it.
Looks like one of Andy's lob wedge shots.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yep. It's like a top flight flying through the air.
So Lisa Alexander tied up. Now a couple players hit the floor. We're going to get a timeout called
30 seconds
by
timeout called
Chris
by the
Manchester. So gives the Maples that bonus possession there. Good heads up call by Manchester.
That's called a quick whistle on that timeout, but it worked.
Oh yeah, the Maples have to have complete possession of that basketball in order to get granted the timeout. I'm not quite sure if that was the case from our vantage point, but
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. One of the 2 people had possession. I'm just not sure it was the Maples, but they'll take it, I'm sure, and they'll get that possession here to close out the first half.
there's a look
Or first
at
quarter,
that
rather, sorry.
late arriving crowd that Andy so eloquently stated. They're kind of like a Los Angeles Dodger crowd, right?
Yeah, kind of the afternoon tea. They come in just before happy hour,
Or it's
kind of thing.
It's like the Little Caesars Arena. They're just out in the concourse looking at all the stuff.
You know, you get here. I've been around Birmingham a long time. I can tell you. You get here, you want to be seen when you walk in too, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's part of it.
One at a time. It's the who's who.
You know.
I'll tell you one thing.
Maple basketball.
This gymnasium has as many banners as Little Caesars Arena.
Yes,
They now have them hanging from the rafters.
How many sports have they got?
Aaron Frank has pulled out all the stops, so to speak. We had an NBA level introduction.
That was impressive.
We got our feet on the scoreboard. And Simpson will slow things down. She's going to have to put a little bit of pep in her step. Just 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And frustration starting to set in just a bit there, Cameron Little.
Yeah, she knew it too. She didn't disguise it well. She skipped and then kind of hung her head and swung her arms, and I think that was the dead giveaway. 5
Claire
seconds.
Guffey going to have to hurry. Flynn gets her defender out of the way, now collides with Racco, and Racco's going to get called for a blocking foul.
Groves foul, number 20.
Well, the crowd was counting
Kira
down
Rocco
for
will be
her.
her second.
Absolutely
Shooting
should have
two,
put up a
Abby
shot
Flynn.
as soon as she got possession of the basketball. Instead, she elected to take a dribble or two in and ran into a wall, but that was a foul, and she's got a couple at the free throw line now.
So the clock expired, so the players will have to stay on the floor and watch Addie Flynn attempt her free throws. Cans the first. Gives her 5 now in this quarter. Is able to knock down the second. 16-3. Our score after 1 quarter of play. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, it'll be the start of the second quarter of play.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to Seaholm High School. BACB Sports continuing coverage. Girls varsity basketball. Maples and Falcons. Seaholm in front, 16-3. Brad Fetters alongside Nick Buckler, my main man, Andy Aubrey. That is a 3-point attempt, and it is good. Alakusis, this junior with the sweet stroke.
Travel again.
Oh, boy. Turnovers beginning to pile up.
Yeah, it's a tough watch. I mean, to see these turnovers one after another. On the other side, Seaholm's just hitting everything. They're hitting their free throws. They're hitting outside shots, and they've definitely come to play tonight themselves in front of the home crowd.
This is a Seaholm squad that is leading in the OAA white. Apparently 5-2. Split games with Royal Oak, their nearest competitor within the OAA white. This is a league game. There's Roy turning the corner. Nice runner there for JC Roy.
Yeah, that's what they're going to need to do more of here in the second quarter if they're going to try to chip away. Is first off, get some stops, and then just with confidence take it to the hoop. That one was fired up from the parking lot.
It's a green light special. Clara Guffey. And a terrific feed down low to Roy. Looks like Addie Flynn blew a tire on the fence. Now she appears to be hurt.
Yeah, she's not. Looks like she's holding her
For the
right
Maples,
knee
number
a little
11, Emma Weber, number
bit. Said she was
21,
all right,
Taylor
took a
Harper.
couple steps, and kind of hunched over again.
That's that same knee that she had taped up the previous meeting. Has that tape on there now. And Watson going to take a look at her, make sure she's okay.
Maple foul, number 10.
Foul away from the basketball there. Simpson with the basketball. Goes over to Racco. Here, Racco. Lost the dribble. Has to go back over to Simpson in front of the home bench. Simpson, pull up 17-footer is good. Whoa.
She's tough.
She's smooth, silky.
Smooth operator. Beat down to a dozen. 19-7 our score. There's a long-range shot, too strong. Offensive rebound from that weak side, Emma Weber.
She's having a nice little game. She's been strong on the rebounds, making her free throws. A lot of confidence right now.
9 points for Weber. Bounce pass inside. Kusis stepped in front of it. She last touched it. No! I was going to say Seaholm ball.
Yeah, I did not see that way.
Yeah, neither official saw it. They both kind of put their arms up, and well, the crowd right in front of them liked it, but they were kind of laughing. Hundreds say Seaholm's got it.
There's hundreds of green-clad officials in the stands and did not agree with that at all.
They haven't agreed with much.
And perhaps ball don't lie, but Roy's going to step
Out of
out of
bounds.
bounds.
It's a Friday night, you know, anything can happen.
Hartwig. Addie Kitzman into the ball game for the first time. Where's 10? Catches there on that far right side. This is a Maple team that's just not afraid to take long-distance shots. Kusis drives the baseline, gets a kind roll off the iron. I think that skipped off every inch of the iron before falling.
It's that home cooking right there.
23-7. Section makes some noise. Kusis catches in transition, slams on the brakes. Maples have to go back, pick up that loose ball. Hartwig, Kitzman, good ball movement here on this offensive set. Ooh, a little dump pass. Lead for Weber, deflected out of bounds. This is a Maple team that has really bought into this system. Play it well. Coach Manchester play calling. Kusitz, bounce pass over to Hartwig, hoists the ball high above the head. Tough catch on that far side for Kitzman.
So stay with the Maples on the sideline.
They've been really good inbounding the ball too. A lot of times you see teams struggle and force either call timeouts or 5 seconds get called. They've just always had somebody open just about on every inbound play.
I'll tell you what, Seaholm hustles. They cut well to the basket. They're where they're supposed to be. They're spaced properly. It's just a really well-coached team as you get a look there at head coach Chris Manchester.
Yeah, they're cooking on more cylinders than they did a couple weeks ago when we saw them. It seems like a different team, and they were playing well that day, actually.
They've really grown as the season's gone on as well. It started, I wouldn't say slow, but slow for their standards and slow compared to, how they've been playing here in the last recent few weeks.
Larry Guffey, who Andy interviewed prior to the start of tonight's contest, the only senior in the starting lineup for Coach Manchester. He's got 4 juniors. There's a three-point attempt. Look out, Weber's on fire right now. Absolutely cooking.
And that wakes up the crowd. There's another hard foul there.
She has 12 points to lead all scorers.
Maple foul number 0, Ella Kustis, will be her first for team second. Shooting 2 for the Falcons, Kira Racco.
Kira Racco. This is the first.
For the Maples, 25, Caroline Newitt.
Caroline Newitt into the game now for Seaholm. Racco splits. How do the Falcons work themselves back into this game?
Well, they need a bunch of stops, for one thing.
Yeah, you got to start with, just looks like they're playing like a hybrid zone. Maybe a 1-3-1. I don't know. It didn't quite look like man, but it didn't look like the 2-3 either. Now it looks like they're. Yeah, it looks like they're playing. I don't know.
Good box out by J.C. Roy. Pass up ahead to Racco. And we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Racco trying to will her team back into this game. Get another look here at this fast break. Looking right at you. Look out.
Coming into your living room.
Second, the team's third.
Well, that might be the way to do it. Sort of get out and run in transition and see if they can tire Seaholm out a little bit and dictate some tempo. That was their game plan in game number 1, which was to run the ball, take advantage of their speed.
2 for Racco. And Allison Heidi, the head coach of the Falcons. There's the start.
Yep, they got a turnover here. Now let's see if they can capitalize and put a couple points on the board here. Chip away.
Harlem Simpson stuck on 5. Roy catches, goes over to Simpson. A little bit of a height advantage there for Mary Gumbus, the defender. They clear her out via the screen. Simpson leaves the three-point shot short. Quick hands, near steal for Racco. And now Racco just barely avoids the reach-in foul. That's allowing him to play a little bit here. Weber, Kusis, back out to Hartwig, will slow things down. Caroline Newitt is calling for the basketball. Falcons dodge one there. Under 2 minutes left to go in the first half. J.C. Roy drives baseline, kicks it into the corner. Corner pocket three is good, knocked down by Alexander.
Well, they need another handful of those, and I would suggest they start sooner than later, but that's a start.
Looks like the knee must be feeling okay for Addie Flynn. She is preparing to check back in here. Just when the Falcons are starting to get a little bit of momentum, Coach Manchester going to try to shut that down.
It would be a small miracle if the Falcons were able to trim this down to single digits heading into the halftime break. We'll see if they can do just that. Trailing by 14, 26-12, 105 left to go in the first half. Racco crosses over the timeline. Yo-yo's the basketball in the right hand. Gets a screen, sets, fires up a three, in and out. Tough luck miss. Kusis able to bring down the rebound. Here comes the Maples now, out in transition. Quick pass ahead through the hands of Gumbus and out of bounds. 44.4 left to go in the first half. And we're going to say it was last touch by the Falcons, so this will stay with Seaholm. Emma Weber will trigger from the baseline. Addie Flynn checks in for Ella Kusis, and now a steal. Simpson gonna beat everybody down the floor, lays it up, lays it in.
Looked like she was carrying that ball like a running back. She put that in her left arm and held it like a loaf of bread.
30 seconds left to go, 12-point lead for the Maples. Weber, whoa, behind the back dribble. Hartwig, and another steal. Turnovers beginning to pile up for the Maples. Alexander, back out, long range two, no good. Terrific offensive rebound and a putback by Cochran McKay. See here, last shot. Flourish here to end the first half for the Falcons. They don't quite get it to single digits, but you gotta feel a 10-point deficit feels like a bit of a win for Groves.
More than a bit of a win. I think it's a massive comeback. They had a huge last 3 or 4 minutes of that second period, and they are still in this game where it looked hopeless for a minute there.
Yeah, they were dead in the water, and then they just go on a run. They get 3 turnovers in a row there to end that and cashed in on all 3 of them to cut this to 10.
Groves ends up outscoring Seaholm in that second quarter, 13-10. But still find themselves trailing by 10, 26-16 our score at the halftime intermission. We'll take the break along with the players. When we come back, the start of the second half of play. Don't go anywhere.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back. Second half of play nearly set to go. 26-16 our score. Seaholm Maples in front of the Groves Falcons. And gentlemen, Seaholm Maples get 12 points by Emma Weber. And turnovers were kind of the story in that first half, especially for Birmingham Groves, but somehow they find themselves only trailing by 10 points.
Yeah, because of, well, turnovers, except at the end of the first half, it was Seaholm turning the ball over, and Groves was able to capitalize on those to chip themselves back into this one, making it a 10-point game.
Yeah, and we said, I was to say, it's a minor miracle to get to the within 10 like this. We thought it would be even better if they could get it under, but it did not happen, and they are still only 10 down. So there's There's the whole second half of basketball to play, gentlemen, and it should be a lot of fun to see if Groves can keep that momentum going.
So it'll be the Falcons with the first possession of this second half. Racco forced to pick up the dribble. Goes over to Alexander. Alexander drives in, floats up a shot, gets the roll. And just like that, it is now a single-digit lead for the Maples. Guffey, the senior captain, telegraphed that pass, stepping in front of it. Cameron Little, unfortunately for her, she gets called for the foul.
Groves foul on number 5, Cameron Little, will be her second, the team's first.
The referee just looked at us and put up number 5. We don't have anything to do with it.
Well, we just let him know we're relevant.
We're semi-authority figures.
He let us know. He was chopping it up with us before the game.
He was, good guy.
Long range deuce, scored by Taylor Hartwig, her first bucket of the night. Gotta like a ref that brings the broadcast team into the fold. Hard drive inside, shot is no good. Free throws coming up for Cameron Little.
Maple foul on number 24, Eddie Flynn, will be her second, the team's first. Shooting 2, Cameron Little.
Student section. Can't rattle Miss Little.
I was going to say, that didn't work.
Must have been the pregame interview there. Andy gave her the secret to the free throws.
Nothing but
net.
Back-to-back free throws, just like that. Falcons just finding a way to stay relevant.
Oh, she's lucky she didn't get called for a foul on that. It was kind of a
Maple
gift.
basketball on the sideline.
There's playing aggressive, and then there's playing just slightly out of control. And Groves does not want to squelch this momentum that they've been able to retain in the second half.
Nice job, Nick, getting that basketball back into place quickly as you did.
Yeah, I actually didn't do anything. I just pretended I went down, put my hand down there because I thought it went under our table, and then I just looked dumb. And by that time, proper parties had joined the fray.
Gumbus with the block shot, Flynn with the easy bucket. So defense leading to offense there for the Maples, lead back up to 10, and now picked up dribble in the backcourt. Nope.
Close. Oh, almost a turnover.
These bounce passes are not doing the job for the Falcons. They've got to kind of rethink that method. I'm afraid there's been a lot of steals going back to the first half with that. We just saw another one.
Racco surveys the scene. Goes over to Little, holds the basketball on her hip. There's that little sort of pass off to Roy. Racco drives baseline up and under.
That hurts.
Maple foul number 22, Clara Guffey, will be her first, the team's
Clara
second.
Guffey, her
Shooting 2, Kira
first,
Rocco.
second on the team. And this is a win-win here for the Falcons because it stops the clock, gives them 2 free throws. As they try to work themselves back into this game, gotta cash in on these free throws.
And puts another foul on the board for the Maples. And they're going to have some ladies in foul trouble soon if they're not careful.
Nice goal.
Now a traveling violation called against the Maples.
Another chance to cut it to single digits here for Groves.
So Falcons shooting 500 from the line, 5 of 10 tonight from the charity stripe. Lisa Alexander, fancy crossover dribble.
That was real nice.
Now knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Maples.
She's got to keep her head up, though. That's
Falcon basketball.
that's a common one, looking down as you dribble and you want to watch the ball. It's like a guitar player. You want to watch those fingers in the fretboard. You got to sort of learn how to keep your head up.
Racco straightaway 3, no good. Defensive rebound railed by Mary Gumbus. This is where the Maples are lethal. And a pocket-picking steal by Simpson. Cochran McKay tapped out of bounds.
For the Falcons, number 2, J.C. Roy.
J.C. Roy checks back in, replaces Racco in the lineup. Nope, check that. Racco's going to inbounds. It'll be Cameron Little to the bench. And we'll receive some coaching by Allison Heide. Like to see that from a head coach, right?
Oh, yeah.
Player comes off and immediately go to teaching. Little jab step by Racco. Splits a couple defenders. That was a very nice individual effort by Kira Racco.
Right around, floated it off the glass and in an 8-point game.
Racco really supplying that secondary scoring. We saw that in the first contest as well. She chipped in with 9 in the first ball game. Guffey over to Hartwig. Back to Guffey. Little 2-woman ball now. Finally go to Gumbus, and she double dribbled. Some self-inflicted wounds by the Maples.
You can't do that. Yeah, and this was sort of a total role reversal because that was Groves' thing in this first half, and they were turning the ball over all the time, and even in that first game too, we talked a lot about it, but Seaholm seems to be on the edge themselves at the moment.
So there's one of those diagonal passes to beat the full court press. Simpson, mid-range jumper, no good. Battle for that loose ball. Look at that effort by Racco as she falls to the floor. Tie up possession arrow to the Falcons. And Guffey wanted an over-the-back ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Groves had that ball, and I thought it was kind of clear. We'll see a good look here. She just kind of wills it away.
There's nothing malicious there at all. It's Lisa Alexander. Boy, oh boy, this gymnasium has suddenly turned. Yeah, and all of a sudden the Falcon faithful making some noise. They're starting to feel themselves. Cross-court pass, Hartwig. Back to Guffey. A well-oiled machine of the Maples is starting to kind of clog down a little bit.
Falcon foul number 20, Kira Racco.
Fans again not thrilled. I mean, I thought, you're dribbling into traffic. There's a foul there. And Maples gonna get another chance.
Flynn takes a spill. Physical nature of this game is intensified. Coach Manchester wanted a foul call there as well. Simpson, that would be a big 3. Misses wide. Roy just out of position, can't bring in the rebound. Kusis slams on the brakes, waits for a trailer. Really kind of a change in pace for this Maple offense.
Well, not only that, one thing I'll say is, you mentioned it, Brad, the physical nature's picked up. The refs are letting these ladies play. More than one foul has not been called here, but which I don't mind, by the way. But Seaholm's playing a little tentative all of a sudden.
Yeah, it almost looks like they're panicking on offense, forcing passes, forcing cuts and dribbles, and just.
It'll stay with the Maples on the sideline.
Well, you also have to credit the Falcon defense. They are getting much more active on the defensive end, clogging up passing lanes, quick hands, deflecting passes. This has been a much better defensive effort from Groves as well. Guffey drives inside. Simpson looks up the floor. Goes over to the corner. Schwanek.
Maple foul, number 24, and will be her third, team's third. Shooting team.
Seaholm's shots are not falling nearly at the same pace they were in the first half either. They've clanked a couple, and Groves needs to make these free throws. They're be very critical to their comeback effort and now cut it to 5, and this is the closest it's been since they were down 5 very, very early in this game.
Oh, yeah. They get the offensive rebound.
Oh, Cochran McKay. Simpson. Near side corner. Schwanek. Back to Simpson will slow things down. That might be a wise choice. Little 9-4 run to start this third quarter. Simpson straightaway three, no good. Tapped around and controlled by Hartwig of Seaholm. Oh, boy, Flynn hits it. Hardwood.
Yeah, second time she's gone down.
And it's not soft landings for Addie.
Timeout here.
It'll be a 30-second timeout as we get a look here at this most recent foul call. Well, gentlemen, looking ahead, district playoff time, not that far away. We know where both teams are going to be. We don't know the bracket quite yet because the MHSAA takes into account final records when building said brackets. But we know the Seaholm Maples will travel to Troy, Athens. That's where the district will be played. Auburn Hills, Avondale, Bloomfield Hills, and Troy High will make up that district. Groves will go on the road to Warren Cousino. It'll be the Cousino Patriots along with Groves, Royal Oak, Sterling Heights, and Warren Mott. So all three of the Warren Consolidated schools are in that bracket along with Royal Oak and Birmingham Groves.
Yeah, that's an odd
Yeah, it is.
combo there, but needless to say, that's the hand they're dealt.
So 30-25 our score. 2:20 now left to go in the third quarter. J.C. Roy, skip pass. Schwanek, no good. Partially blocked. Guffey, point guard. Three-pointer on the way. That's a way to end a streak.
Well, Seaholm needed that. That was.
Oh, they're saying it was a
bleeding.
2. It was a 2.
For the Maples, number 10, Adam Kinsman.
Foot looked to be on the line from that vantage point. Couldn't quite see it. So here's that full court pressure now from the Maples.
That was very successful early on, and again, it holds to be successful.
Eddie Kitzman getting involved in the scoring. Her first basket of the night.
Another turnover.
Look out, Flynn. This is short. The referee pointing. Looks like Kitzman's hurt.
She got hit in the mouth. She's holding her teeth right now.
Injury timeout for the Maples, number 3, Mary Gumbus. For the Falcons, number 20, Kira Rocco.
I don't think they called a foul on that play, so whatever it was went undetected.
Mouth or perhaps the nose. It almost looks like she's motioning to Bill Watson and she took a shot to the nose. If you've ever been hit in the nose, it automatically brings tears to your eyes.
If it's a nose fun, I'll tell you that.
Oh, little reach. Well, suddenly the referees decide to pick up the pace on the foul calls.
That's going to force Addie Flynn out of the game. You see Chris Manchester pounding his fist into his chair as he sits down. It probably hurts him to take his star player out right at this
offensive
point.
foul on Talisa Alexander. Well, the reason why Addie Flynn has to go to the bench, she's got 4 persons.
Yep. And you know, it's just on a reach in too that really didn't have much effect on the play. It's just those ones you can't commit.
Another triple try, short. Long shots equal long rebounds. Hartwig able to track it down. Weber had an outstanding first half with 12 points. Nothing here in the third. Wide open, Mary Gumbus.
A little lull in the defense there. Left wide open under the basket.
So this full court pressure has been the bugaboo of the Falcons all night long, and now a 10-second violation.
Well, nothing like a few turnovers to derail a comeback, but still time. We're running out of it here in the third quarter, but still a fourth to play, and they had some momentum going earlier in this quarter, but they got to watch it.
Who sits? And the Maples just kind of flipped that switch, didn't they?
Yeah, when they needed to, they did. Once they got that full court pressure back, that's got to be a travel. Yeah.
Basket.
For the Falcons, 23, Rose Stroud.
9.6 seconds left to go here in the third. So the Maples really don't even need to hustle this ball up the floor. Weber crosses the timeline. Now begins her attack. Tries to spin. Long-range shot for Sullivan. Refuses to fall. And after 3 quarters of play, the Maples have extended their lead to 14. They lead at 39-25. Another quick break here on BACB Sports. Fourth quarter action coming up next.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Fourth quarter of play underway. Maples in front of the Falcons, 39-25. Seaholm using that third quarter to push their lead now to 14. Falcons had pulled within a handful.
Wow, good hustle play.
Coach Manchester wants a full timeout.
I think he did that to save the possession there. And I think there was some confusion.
He didn't appear to be too happy with himself for calling that timeout.
Yeah, I think he regretted it.
The possession arrow favors the Falcons, so he did save the possession. I wonder if he thought, well,
maybe he wanted to save a timeout, and he's like, I guess we only have full timeouts left, whatever.
Well, it's too late now, that's for sure.
Look inside both huddles. Seaholm Maples 11-6, 5-2. We mentioned they are at the very top of the OAA white standings. Groves coming into play tonight, 5-11, 1-5 in the OAA whites. Look at Emma Weber. She's had an outstanding ball game. All of her points scored in the first half, 12 of them. Addie Flynn saddled with those 4 fouls on the bench right now, stuck on 8 points. It's kind of been that balanced attack once again by the Maples, just really not going crazy in terms of their offense tonight.
Yeah, it's been a modest, they scored them in bunches and they weren't lighting it up from 3. It's right on cue, as you say, she hasn't scored in the second half. She comes right out of that timeout with a nice lay-in.
It is a Seaholm Maple offense that averages 48 points per game. Scored 59 in their win over Groves. That's got to be a foul.
Yeah,
it will be.
She reached right around and put her arms around her.
Maple foul on number 11, Emma Weber, will be her first. The team.
Just her first, but that lead all the way up to 16. Harlem Simpson did not score in that third quarter. Cameron Little dribbles it out of bounds.
Maple basketball.
It's a rough game there. A few turnovers and some travels, and just tough to get it going when you're not giving yourself many possessions.
Racco looks up the floor, will slow things down, gets it across the Maple logo at half court.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice
what a move.
And fouled.
She has a way of just sort of slicing to the net and maintaining possession. She's slight. I mean, she's not a very large player, but she definitely has the moves, and she's silky smooth out there. Creates a lot of shots for herself. Needs to work on her free throw shooting a little bit. But, I mean, when you think about her, let's take a look at this last play. I mean, how'd she do it? She went through 3 people. It was amazing. But she's only a freshman. Think about how good she's going to become here.
Pretty strong move to get to the rim.
Yeah, it was impressive. Real impressive. Just smooth, like you guys were mentioning.
Kusis spins the basketball a couple times before going over to Weber. Was looking for the cut there. Now Simpson towards the body, saves the possession, fires a pass over to Racco. Shots from distance aren't falling. The putback no good. Offensive rebounds galore. And a little bit of contact from behind will send Nevaeh Cochran-McKay back to the line.
Maple foul number 3, Mary Douglas.
There was a lid on the basket during this exchange for the Falcons. They got every rebound and all the chances in the world. They just couldn't seem to put it in.
Free throw shooting has been a bugaboo tonight for the Groves.
10, Addie Kitzman.
Now 7 of 16 from the line. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Falcons.
Maple basketball.
Weber catches the inbound pass. Whoa, long range 3. Rips the nylon.
Emma Weber.
There might be your early candidate for BACB Sports Player of the Game. Answering right back with a triple of her own to Lisa Alexander.
Talise Alexander for 3.
5.5 to go in regulation. 44-29 our score. Picking up the dribble, Kitzman.
Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Maples.
Good to see her back in after taking the shot to the face.
Yep, always good. Both injured players have returned to the game, so that's good. Oh, she's feeling it.
Feel it. Off the back heel. Now out transition, 2 on none. Cochran-McKay lays it up, lays it in. 44-31, 5 minutes left to go in the fourth. Weber thought about it. That would have been a little bit of a heat check, and now Simpson with the steal.
She just took it right out of her hands.
Cochran-McKay with the putback. Falcons with back-to-back buckets and pulled within 11.
Look out. It's a game of runs, fellas.
Oh, and Simpson near steal, just couldn't save it from going out of bounds. Andy Aubrey
Did I
gonna
do
get
it?
involved now, yep.
Oh, I wanted to spin that ball on my finger. I should have been on the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, honestly, that was my goal. When I saw them at the Olympia Stadium in 70-something.
What's that?
That's what I want to do. I was all about it, man. Meadowlark Lemon, spin that ball. See, now it's a timeout. I had plenty of time to do it.
You want me to take it from the ref?
Go get it.
I'll just, hold on, I'm taking my headset off.
Thank you. I love it. Let's have some fun, boys. Let's play some basketball.
Brad, you got to get us back on track here. We're having too much fun in the booth.
44-33, 4:33 left to go. Inside look at the Groves huddle. Nice job by our camera operator, Michael Kottmeyer, bringing you those inside looks. Big thank you to both coaching staffs for all their help in our production here tonight.
So if you're Groves, what are you saying here? You know, you've kind of taken a little bit of momentum, not too much, but I would say the momentum meter is shifted towards you a smidge. How do you kind of get that to snowball?
Well, I mean, keep minimizing the turnovers. That's their first bugaboo. Secondly, if you get to the line, make the free throws, but play good defense, don't foul, because that's been also one of their weaker points. But again, the momentum's on their side, and they just got to keep the pressure up. Time is of the essence now.
Addie Flynn into the ball game with those 4 personal fouls.
Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Maples.
I'm just glad Sweet Georgia Brown didn't start playing over the loudspeakers, because Andy for sure then would have went on the floor.
I went out there. I got the bucket of confetti right here under the table right now.
Do I dare say
I've never heard that backdoor cut by Clara Guffey. Theme song for Harlem Ultra.
Okay, thank you.
JC Roy.
Oh,
Andy, and his opportunity.
Oh, man, and it went right through the wickets.
Just a bit outside.
Man, Andy, there he is. What could have been?
I could have been a star.
Could have been a contender. Flynn kicks it out. Range 2 is good. Taylor Hartwig with the field goal. Boy, oh boy. It's cliche, but basketball certainly is a game of runs. And right now that momentum out of the timeout has gone the Maples' way, and a strong move. That's Miss Alexander. They're going to call her for a travel. She disagrees.
She could not believe it. That ball almost went in, and that would have been impressive. But it would have been all for naught.
Gomez catches, streaking down the sideline. Clara Guffey all of a sudden flexing her scoring muscles. And lead back up to 17 points. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's going to be Addie Flynn's 5th.
Foul out.
Sealed foul number 24, Addie Flynn will be her 5th.
Look at Coach Manchester trying to figure out what to do next. He's got a smile on his face. Now, when you're up 17, I guess you can smile, right?
Yeah, he's got options, and he doesn't look too worried.
For the Falcons, Cameron Little.
Both. Well, we talked about how the offense had kind of bogged down. Well, they're right back over that season average. They're approaching the 59 points they scored in game number 1. Koussis tried to cut, and the pass is intercepted. Now Koussis is going to get the reach in.
She just grabbed her jersey there and said, I'm just going to not let you go.
And it'll put the Falcons on the line, so that's a bit of a break for Groves.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, Brad, this stops the clock, and if there's been any flaws at all in Seaholm's game tonight, it has been their fouling. They have been liberal with their aggressiveness. They've made a few ill-advised maneuvers that result in fouls, and it's putting Groves on the line. He got a chance to chip away, but they need a couple three-pointers in the process, too.
I'll tell you what, it's just kind of the aggressive nature of the Maples, right? They want to get out and run, and how do you do that? Well, come away with steals. Well, how do you do that? Well, you got to reach in and try to grab away the basketball, and every so often you get hit with foul calls, so you kind of live and die perhaps by that aggressive nature. Seemingly has worked here tonight. 50-36 our score, 3:05 left to go in regulation. Passing. That's kind of the MO of the Maples. Could complete the play. Gumpas' shot was no good. Tough angle make. Whoa! How did Nevaeh Cochran-McKay make that shot?
Physics doesn't allow that to go in.
She's got 8 points here in the fourth, 10 points total. Lead down to a dozen. 2.5 left to go now in the fourth. Kusis begins her drive, will defer back to Kitzman. Tried to thread the needle, didn't quite work, gets it right back, goes back out to Hartwig. Maples chew up some clock, can't get the shot from beyond the line to fall. And now the Falcons looking to pull within 10. Driving baseline, stepping on the baseline. Couldn't afford that turnover there. That's a key moment in this basketball game.
Now, the margin of error was absolutely zero for Groves. They needed a bucket or a three-pointer every time down the floor.
5-second violation.
They got a
basketball in.
Timeout here.
Oh, they're going to say Seaholm took a timeout. Did they?
Oh, my. Wow.
Well, that seems to be, I didn't see an indication at the scorer's table, but that seems to be the indication from the fans behind us that Seaholm was granted the timeout prior to the 5-second violation.
Yeah, the scorer's table announced to the gym, they said timeout Seaholm. They did not announce the 5-second violation, so we'll see out of this timeout what happens. Okay. All right, we're grooving. We're grooving here at Seaholm High.
We're jumping around.
Something.
I'll let you know, Steve Rhoda, our director tonight. Lee Solomon in the live truck, Jason Radulski as well. Ah, there's a look at the Forest tonight. Mike Kottmeyer amongst them. He's embracing the student section.
Oh, yes, and vice versa.
And we get
Maple ball. There's the
Maple ball. So they were granted the timeout.
Falcon foul number 13, Talisa Alexander, with her second, the team's first.
So that's just the first team foul on the Falcons. See, this is now where that new rule, the new free throw rule, maybe comes into play in the opposite way, where you would typically put a team on the line and make them shoot free throws 1-and-1 and kind of just extend this basketball game. Well, now all of a sudden the Groves Falcons do not have that luxury. Sort of eliminates a free throw shooting contest, keeps these games moving as well. I love the rule change.
I'm a fan as well.
Oof.
Oh.
Now Kitzman kind of ran into her own teammate, brought the defender along with her.
Looked almost like they banged heads. That was, oof. That one was a little scary.
Falcon foul number 5, Cameron Little, will be her third, the team's second.
Foul go on Cameron Little. It's her third. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, I don't know.
Ran into 5.
I think it was just kind of incidental contact between Little and Kitzman there.
Kusis was the Seaholm Maple that made contact with Kitzman, and there's a steal. 3-on-2 if they hurry, but Cocker and McKay just had to pick up that basketball. That one misses its mark. 50-50 ball, won and controlled by Groves, and a timeout was called. So Lisa Alexander went to the floor.
I thought that was a travel.
It could have easily been a travel call.
She rolled all around the ground there.
She did. And Allison Heidi, let's get another look. Allison Heidi called timeout.
She spins. If you know the rule of traveling, your feet don't necessarily have to be on the ground, but if you're forcefully rolling around, that's traveling.
I don't remember a game we've had so many timeouts called during these scrums. It seems like this has happened about 4 or 5 times tonight, and it's a common practice in the game of basketball, obviously, but we really we've used up all of our quota for those, I think. How many timeouts are left here? We got 1 for Seaholm and 2 left for Groves. So,
well, for the longest time, coaches couldn't call those timeouts. They had to be called by the players.
Right.
And now, you know, with the rules changes over the years, coaches can save possessions. And I mean, I guess it's the right move to make.
Oh yeah, you have to if you can,
especially at this level, right? "12-point lead, 50-38 our score. Maples in front and led right from the get-go. Groves looking for some instant offense. Simpson and draws contact.
Maple foul on number 22, Clara Guffey, with her second, shooting 2.
Simpson 2 of 4 from the line. Gives it a spin. Fires it up. Simpson, 10 points. Not quite as strong of an effort here tonight. And nice job getting back defensively to Lisa Alexander. And one would think the Maples here will try to trigger, hold on to the basketball.
Oof. Almost a steal on the inbound. Oh,
there's an unforced error. That's just what Groves needed. And yeah, I don't think Seaholm really needs a tremendous amount of points. They need to dictate the tempo and run this clock.
Yeah, right there.
So they can maintain possession.
Yeah, I think they thought Kusis was going to zig when she zagged. And it would have been a free 2 points, but just passed to the wrong side.
And it'll stay with Groves. Well, Emma Weber, number 11 for the Seaholm Maples, with 17 points to lead all Maple scorers. Probably our candidate for BACB Sports Player of the Game. Would you gentlemen agree?
Yeah, I think I'd give her my vote there.
Yeah, she's had a great game.
Well, based on that conversation, it's a 3-0 vote.
Unanimous.
How about that?
Number 10, Abby Kitzman, will be her second, shooting 2, JC Brogan.
Wish both of these teams good luck as we kind of wrap up the regular season and begin to look ahead to district play. Mentioned the Falcons will go on the road, play district at Warren Cousino. Seaholm will play their district at Troy Athens.
For the state of the Falcons,
get this pass in, got to get it in. The Falcons will take time out.
That's been a popular
30-second
thing
timeout
here
call
tonight.
by the Falcons.
Can't take the timeouts with you.
No, you can't take them with you, so use it and not get another turnover. And down 10, it would take a miracle, but, you know, hit a couple of threes, make it interesting, but that has been tough to get the ball in. Not a lot of movement, some tired legs out there, it looks like.
We got the next round of basketballers getting ready to come out.
Ron over there taking care of them.
Little Tykes getting ready to hoop it up after this one.
7 different Maples have scored tonight, but a total team effort. And this is going to be a dangerous team next year. We mentioned 4 of the 5 starters juniors. Clara Guffey, the lone senior in the starting 5 for Chris Manchester. Good catch there by Alexander with one hand. Simpson, they got to hurry. Simpson's pull-up jumper, no good. And now the Maples really don't need to rush things. And Hartwig realizes that. Gumbus, maybe not quite so much. And now we're going to get a foul, which will stop the clock. And put
They
the
didn't
Falcons
listen
on
to you,
the line.
Brad. They missed the memo, all right?
Chris Manchester just shaking his head, puts his hands over his head, turns around after that foul.
Maple foul on number 0, Alacousas. He'll be her fifth, shooting 2.
Emma Weber checking back in, trying to add to her total. She said, I heard we're still trying to score. I'm coming back.
Koussis is fouled out of this ball game. So Koussis now and Flynn both out. 5 personals. Vic, Cochran, McKay. She has been very busy in this fourth quarter. These are free throw attempts 5 and 6 for her, just in this fourth quarter alone. In and out. It's going to stay with Groves. If they're able to knock down a field goal here, all of a sudden it's kind of a ball game once again.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, their free throw shooting is really kind of been their bugaboo. You wonder where this game would be at if they'd have made 4 or 5 more.
Good strong take, just couldn't get that runner to fall, and that will do it. And I think the Maples will finally get the message as they pull the basketball out. Falcons are going to chase after. They didn't quite get the memo.
Oh, and she hit her head. With 1 second left, triple teamed.
Falcon foul number 2, J.C. Roy.
Yeah, I mean, this game was over. They should have dribbled it out and triple teamed her on that particular play, and she ended up getting mugged. It was unfortunate. She came back and hit her head on the floor. It looks like she's okay, but yeah, 1.5 seconds.
And that will do it. 50-41, our final score. A valiant effort, a comeback effort by the Falcons here tonight. They fall short. The Seaholm Maples come away victors 50-41. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, it'll be our post-game coverage, including our player of the game interview. Something you do not want to miss, so come right back to BACB Sports.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to Seaholm High School one final time. Brad Fetters alongside Nick Buckler for BACB Sports. 50-41, the Seaholm Maples over the Groves Falcons. Wasn't always pretty, but somehow the Maples got the job done.
Yeah, they got out to a huge lead in that first half, and really the Groves Falcons were able to chip away and make it as close as 5 points at one point in the third quarter, but then Maples were able to pull ahead and pull away in the end.
Emma Weber, outstanding, 12 first half points, 17 total in the ball game, including a couple shots from deep. She is our BACB Sports Player of the Game, and she is alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
All right, guys, here I am with our so much for the one-on-one interview. I love high school athletics. We are having fun over here at Seaholm. Emma, they love you. You're the star tonight. 17 points, a couple threes, another win over your rivals, and talk about how this game played out.
Okay, so I think we just prepared really well, and we knew that we beat them by 16 last time. We wanted to match the same energy. We came out strong. We had a goal, and obviously because it's a rivalry game, we know that there's extra, enthusiasm in the air, and we just had to bring it tonight.
Yeah. Now, what kind of a momentum can this give your team heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, going into the playoffs, I think this is great. We've got some hard matchups, especially because we've played like all these teams that we're playing in the future once, so now we're going at it twice, and it's always just like an extra level of adrenaline that we have to bring to the table.
Yeah. What's it like playing for Coach?
I love him. He's my favorite person ever. I've been playing for him for at least 10 years. It's been so great all through it all, and I love my team, every single one of them.
Well, they obviously love you, and that's because you had a great game tonight, and well, we congratulate you. It's a big win anytime you beat the Groves Falcons, right? So best of luck moving forward. We will be watching the progress of the team. Congratulations again, and we'll send it back to Brad and Nick to wrap it on up.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Andy Aubrey. Congratulations to junior Emma Weber, 17 points here tonight. Seaholm Maples improved to 12-6. More importantly, 6-2 In the OAA White, they maintain their first place lead.
Yeah, really a dominant performance again. Like I said earlier, it wasn't pretty at all times, but in the end, they were able to get it done, and that's what good teams do. And I think, they can really shake it up, and they can make a lengthy run here as we approach the postseason. I think they have enough depth, and they have enough scoring depth, more importantly. Obviously, Addie Flynn fouled out early in that fourth quarter, and they were able to still kind of keep their foot on the gas pedal and pull away with a 9-point victory.
As for the Groves Falcons, I think they can take a lot of positives away from this basketball game. 7 different players scored for them. They had 3 players in double digits. Nevaeh Cochran McKay led them in scoring with 11. Talise Alexander had 10, and then the fabulous freshman Harlem Simpson, 10 points as well. Not her best game, but once again, some positives tonight for the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, she still was able to make some really nice plays and kind of give her team a spark when really they were kind of fizzled out. But definitely, as a freshman, this is a really good game to gain experience and to just be better as a sophomore. And then, obviously, 3 full years left ahead for her. She's a real bright player, and she's going to have a real bright future.
Wish both teams good luck in district play. We'll be paying especially close attention to both of our teams here in Birmingham. For my broadcast partner, Nick Buckler, for the third member of our broadcast crew, Andy Aubrey, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodnight. One final time from Birmingham Seaholm High School. Once again, your final score, the Maples 50, the Falcons 41. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on BACB Sports.